Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce you to the CEnet web hosting service. As you know, CEnet is going away if it hasn't already for your particular website, so you pretty much need to get your websites to a third party or take advantage of the CEnet web hosting service. We've got a cPanel box, webhost.cenet.catholic.edu, and you attach to that via port 2083, which is the standard cPanel login. And for the purposes of this example, I'm going to use Rocky. They were one of the first adopters of this service after hearing about it via the COG. So thanks for your quick uptake there, Jason. I'll just log in as your diocese. Okay, I've already made a couple of test accounts on here, but just to talk you through this screen, when you first log in, this is your diocese level cPanel view. What we've done on the actual cPanel server, if you imagine there's just one big server and it's a multi-tenancy environment, so every diocese gets a slice of the pie, if you will, in its own little unique silo. Any website you make underneath your diocese login is only viewable to your diocese login, so there's no kind of leakage across the pies there. The way we've set it up as well is the top level diocese account is what's seen as a reseller account, and all the schools that you would have under a CEO are actual add-on domains to the main account. The main reason for doing that was because when you log in as this view, you essentially get all the domains for all the schools under the same view. If we went down the path of giving the schools straight access to this box, then at the CEO level you'd need to log into every school and it quickly becomes totally unmanageable. So you can see here, I'll just go back to the home page. You get two options, subdomain or add-on domain. If you was to choose a subdomain, if you're not sure, that's not the one to choose because it will make a subdomain of the reseller account. So it would make, if we called it Fred for example, it would be fred.dcorock.catholic.edu, which obviously isn't a unique domain. You always need to choose the add-on domain section. We'll choose that, and I've already made one, which is CEnetTest.edu.au. When you make a domain, fred.com.au, it doesn't actually need to exist. There is an option in cPanel to say don't allow a domain to be created if it doesn't exist, but we've switched that off because a school may want to do a few tests before they go live. If they don't have a website currently, they may not have even registered that domain, so we wanted to give people the option to test this without having any DNS entries. I'll take you through what to do if you don't have any DNS entries shortly. So once you make a domain, the actual FTP will always be the first part. You can call that whatever you want, but we do recommend you keep it to the school abbreviation. Most of them are actually short enough to meet the 8-character limit, so that's not a problem. Pop your password in, hit add domain, and away you go. So now we've got CEnetTest.edu.au down there. Obviously, in the world of DNS, that domain doesn't exist yet, so how do I see it? The way to do that is to go to the IP address of the web host, which is 29.215.80, and then you use the tilde symbol and then your diocese abbreviation, so DCORock. If I was to hit enter at this point, I get the list of every website that DCORock has got under their reseller account, and there is CEnetTest.edu.au. If I click that, because there's no index.html or PHP, I get a directory listing. If I go back and choose one that I know has got a website, that's got a redirect to another box. Let's try this one. Yeah, so that one's hosted directly on the page. You can see there it's under the reseller account of DCORock. That's the actual domain name. I'm assuming that's currently live as well, so if we get rid of this and put www, yeah, it's live as well, so that's good. So that's how you test it. You essentially go to the box yourself, 215.80 tilde. So if we wanted to do Cairns, for example, CNS, those are the websites that Cairns have actually got hosted. And again, you can click on them if they don't have any DNS entry to see what sites are there if they exist. Okay, the way that we've got it set up as well is you're free at the school level to upload any website or content management system that you like, so Joomla or WordPress. Obviously, if it was a Joomla or a WordPress site, you'd need a MySQL database, which you can make here. It's always got to be the diocese name, but it could be the school, so CCG database, create database, and then just make the user CCG user, and then you know to link that user to that particular database, and away you go. Day to day, if you have any problems with uploading or issues around Cpanel, always log a call with our service desk and I'll help you where I can. I'm not a web developer, so if you do have any specific issues around the website, unfortunately I can't help. I will try though if it's something easy. I've got a bit of PHP, but it's not my main purpose under my support role around the Cpanel. It's more around the back end, the MySQL versions, the PHP versions, etc. Okay, so just going back to these add-on domains for a second, you'll recall that it made a username. Now, when you make a username, so for CEnet test, it's CEnet test, that becomes your FTP access to get to that particular site. So I've already made a connection here called Rocky Test and the web host, and this is the user. You always have to log in as the user for that particular school under the diocese. So just make that just to make that clear, it always has to be the FTP username, but it has to be the reseller account, which is your diocese name. I know I keep saying that, but I've had a lot of tickets saying I can't log into my FTP. Why? And it's because they've put the school address here. It has to be the CEO. Okay, one other thing to keep in mind as well is under the transfer settings of your particular client, it always has to be active. That's because there's two ports that we need. We need the FTP and the FTP control. If we were to choose the passive option, you've got the FTP connection, and then the control port can be anything above 1024. Obviously, because of the firewall contexts, we can't actually do that, so it has to be active. If you do forget to set this option and try to connect, you won't be able to get a directory listing because there's no control commands being sent. That's the first clue really to see that that's the problem. So if we go back into the connection, change that to active, then connect, we'll get a directory listing straight away, as you can see there. So yeah, you can put anything you want then onto your particular website. I've already made all the logins for all the particular diocese. So for example, Cairns, as you saw before, I think they may have changed their password. No. So Cairns have got one. In fact, I think everybody does. I'll try Parramatta. Yep. So if you want access to this, just flick me an email or give me a call or log a ticket to the service desk, and I'll happily send you those details. It's open to everybody. Obviously, we'd it'll love to see you all on here. But if you do have any questions once you start to have a play, obviously feel free to log a service desk call or send me an email on the details that are on your screen. Hope that's been of use. Yeah, thank you for your attention. Bye bye.